Welcome to this VR Patience video. In this video, we will explore two of the node types found in scenario logic, the action node and the effect node. Action nodes are used to either evaluate a condition, check, or trigger a change, an effect in scenario logic. An action is something the user can assess, monitor, or treat in the scenario. Some items may appear to be grayed out. This means those functions have not been turned on in the scenario builder. When you select a type of action, this will determine the needed information required to complete the node and trigger the downstream nodes. When selected, some nodes may or may not require additional information depending upon how they are being used. Action nodes, like when IV administered or when blood pressure taken, require no additional information. Other nodes, like dialogue action nodes, all require additional information. Dialogue actions rely on dialogue entered in the Dialogue tab of the Scenario Builder, so make sure you enter all the questions and answers you need. When question asked requires a selected question to complete the node. When command given requires a command selected to complete the node. When call made, this requires a call E to be selected and the question identified to complete the node. Actions, like when oxygen administered, can be set to trigger downstream nodes by any device, a specific device. When multiple devices are selected, this creates the OR statement within the action node. When connected to monitor, this may be for monitoring through any of the options, a specific option, and when multiple options are selected, this creates an OR statement within the action node. When connected to ECG, this may be for monitoring through any lead, a specific lead, and when multiple options are selected, this creates an OR statement within the action node. Some action nodes require multiple fields to be completed. For example, when medication administered, a medication must be selected, then routes of administration identified, either any route, a specific route, or one of multiple selected routes will trigger the downstream nodes. Effect nodes are used to cause a change either to the simulation or to the patient. Effects can be enabling, turning on dialogue, or media. They can also disable, turn off dialogue or media. Scenario authors can also use an effect to change the patient. Almost everything under the Patient Conditions tab can be changed by an effect. Effects can also be used as part of the scenario grading to capture when users meet success or failure criteria. When a specific effect is selected, this will determine the information required to complete the node. Dialogue effects all require the author to select the question or command that will be enabled or disabled. Enable Call Dialogue requires a call E to be selected and the question identified to complete the node. Enable Media requires either an image or 12 lead to be selected to complete the node. The Change Behavior effect allows the author to change the position of the avatar and or change the behavior the avatar is depicting. The Change Vital effect allows the author to alter one of the patient's vital signs. For this example, the heart rate. Based on the action that is triggering this effect, the author can raise or lower the heart rate either from its initial setting or previous changes in the simulation. Rarely does the heart rate make significant changes instantaneously. The case author can present a gradual change by setting a time in seconds for the change to occur over. The author can use the expires after setting to set a time in seconds for the heart rate to revert to its prior setting. The advanced toggle appears in some of the effect nodes. When selected, the absolute effect changes the modification of the vital sign to a specific number instead of an adjustment based upon a prior setting in the simulation. When changing lung sounds, the author can choose to change all areas or a specific area of the anterior or posterior chest. After choosing a side of the chest wall, the author can choose to change all spots or an isolated spot of the chest. This list corresponds to the selections available on the Patient Condition tab. Once the area has been identified, the author selects from the list of available lung sounds. Volume can be adjusted to present pronounced, diminished, or absent lung sounds. If desired, the author can use the expires after setting to set a time in seconds for the lung sound to revert to its prior setting in the simulation. There are two grading effects. Each scenario should contain a path of logic leading to ending the case with a win option and a path that ends the case with a lose option. Case authors can use a grade effect to enhance the grading rubric. Examples of its use would be when multiple options are correct or when multiple steps need to be taken to achieve a single grade. The grading effect is given a name. The author determines if the action was something the user needed to do or something they needed to avoid doing. The author sets a grade value between 0 and 5 and then determines if the grade is a critical action. This grade becomes part of the grading rubric under the Case Logic section. Thank you for watching this VR Patience video.